Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to continue learning about regular expressions, and we're going to learn about groups. And our motivating example is going to be emails. So I have an example string, which is that my students should email me at this email address, and everybody else should use the other email address, so that way I don't miss your emails. And what we want to do is we want to look at an email address and separate it out into the basic parts. There's a username, then there's an @ symbol, then there's a domain, and we also want to make sure that we don't accidentally grab that dot at the end of the sentence, which that's going to be a little bit tricky. So our tool for doing this with regular expressions is what's called a group. We're going to put each of the part in its own group. And in order to do this, we're going to use a tool called Pythex. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this string. And then I'm not going to click this link because I already have it open, but I put my string here. And so my first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to figure out how to extract an email address. Okay. So with the start of an email address, well, we know we're going to have letters. So this gives us all the letters. But you can also have numbers. So we're going to have letters or numbers. Well, wait, but there's also a dot that's part of one of my email addresses. So let's have a letters, numbers, or dots. So that's the first part of it. And then this is going to be followed by the @ symbol. Oh, but right there I only got the A and then an @. So we have to have one or more letters or numbers or dots. Followed by the @ symbol. And the great thing about Pythex is if you make a mistake like I just did, you can see what it highlights in real time and update you're figuring it out accordingly. Using regular expressions is complicated, and this gives you real-time feedback so you can make sure you're not screwing it up. Okay, and now after the symbol is more letters or numbers, or possibly a dot. And now this is almost working perfectly, except there's a period immediately after com, and that's not actually part of the email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on at the end letters. So this way it has to end in a letter. So we'll have letters, numbers, or dots, more than one of them, and then more than one letters, numbers, and dots. But then it has to actually end in a letter at the very end. So now that we figured out what our answer is, we can go and copy this back into Python and try it out. So I'm going to say pattern is equal to raw string, quotes, that pattern I just figured out. I'm also going to import RE so we can use regular expressions. And now we just do the same stuff from before, and we can say result is equal to re.search pattern. We're going to search in that string S. Ooh, I need to run this code up here. There we go. And now we can look at our results, and we can see that we have successfully extracted an email address. Now this is good, but our goal is to try to split up the separate parts of the email address into different groups. So to do this, we're going to use the group command. So we're going to say result.group. Okay, that doesn't actually give us anything meaningful though. And if we try result.groups plural, that just gives us absolutely nothing. So we need to do something more in order to split things up into groups. To do this, what we do is we add in parentheses. So I'm going to first show it over in Pythex because I always like to try to experiment in Pythex first and then transfer back to Python. Pythex is a great setup for experimenting. So for groups, you use parentheses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a group. And so what it says is that the group now, we have just one group, which is going to be whatever comes before the @ symbol. Then we can make the @ symbol its own group. And now group 2 is just the @ symbol. And then everything else goes in one more group. So now we have 3 groups. Everything is in one of the groups. And I'm actually going to change this a little bit more because honestly, I don't care about @ symbols. The @ symbol is boring. So I'm just going to not put that in a group. So now we're back down to 2 groups. And these 2 groups are exactly the part that comes before the @ symbol and the part that comes after the @ symbol, which are the 2 basic parts of the email address. So now we say pattern is equal to raw, quotation mark, whatever we figured out in Pythex. And we can say result would be equal to re.search, pattern, and s. And now we can look at our result. And so this still looks the same. But now if we say result.group and result.groups, what we can see is that the first thing will still be the same. Just group, it just puts everything together. It groups it all together. But the second one, where we just say result.groups, maybe let's run this on a separate cell so it's a little bit more clear. Oops, sorry. This splits up the part that comes before and after. And last but not least, if we wanted all of them, we would use re.findAll, pattern s. And now we have all of the email addresses, and they're split up according to their groups. So that's it for this video. I'll see you again next time.